Okay, so I am Kathy Elliott, independent Nordic sales consultant, and I am doing this video in my private VIP group, and we'll be making it so that I can share it through my YouTube channel. Okay, so I've done a little video that I mentioned that you could check out more about the netted dishcloth. So the first thing is first, I started doing some dishes and I realized, oh, I should do this. Okay, so I cannot remember how long ago it was that Norwex came out with the netted dishcloth. And it was white. And a lot of people didn't like white because white doesn't always stay white, and that bothered lots of people. So then they came out with, now I just want to show you, notice the size. And I'm really sorry. My white one, even though it's older, it got retired when the blue ones came out. But I didn't, yeah, anyway, I had them for a long time. But I have probably used the blue longer than I used the white. And, well, it shows. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, also, because I am doing this in my private group, sometimes while doing a live, people join me. They show up. And so I say hi to them. So anyway, so here's the white. And yes, if you're noticing a difference in size, there's a difference in size. Okay, then we're going to drop the white. And we're going to show my sad, sad blue. And because the way you fold this up, even though there's holes in here, doesn't mean it wasn't able to wash. And what do we do with them when they get old and kind of ratted out? We send them to the garage usually, or do some outdoor cleaning with them. That's what we do with these. Okay, so this is the blue one. And I knew I wanted to buy my graphite one, but I, for some reason, connected it to getting my new kitchen cupboards. And yes, there's a few little odds and ends we haven't finished in our kitchen yet, like the trim and outlet covers on a couple places. Anyway, here's what the new one looks like. It's big. But they really do, and I thought this was really important that I do have the white one that was our original color and blue, which was our next color, that I have these to show you they do tighten up. I'm not going to really say the word shrink because I think it's more important to think that how it tightens up, and the holes, the netted part here, gets tighter. The weave gets tighter. Now, I did say that, full disclosure, I started to wash dishes, so this is not dry. So what I'm going to show you may actually work better when it's dry. And they do come in a 2-pack, so if you are a baker or you just tend to have stuff happen in the kitchen often, you want to use both of them right away and leave one dry and maybe put it in a drawer or whatever for the dry cleaning. And then you have your other one that will then be with your sink for the wet, for washing dishes. Okay, so I'm going to move my ring light phone holder here and say, walk with me. We're going to come over here to this part of my counter, and I'm going to lower you so you can see what I'm doing. There you are. This is my new workstation countertop that I so much needed. So right here, I'm not sure that you can see, I'll bring this up. It's just some breadcrumbs left over from my breakfast. Okay, so when I made some toast. So there's those. And I want to show you, I've got a little bit of sugar. I'm going to put the sugar on here. I'm just going to sprinkle a line of sugar. That's quite a bit. I think you can see it. And then I'm going to sprinkle, getting some flour here across the camera. Excuse my arms. Okay, so I got some flour, sprinkling that on here, tapping it onto there. And then I have some cinnamon sugar. I could actually add that in with the toast crumbs probably. But you know, cinnamon sugar just goes everywhere, doesn't it? Okay, so you have these things to clean up. Now they're not going to be in a nice little line like these, correct? You all can agree with that. So let's just kind of smooth these out because it's going to be, you know, you're baking, you've got your flour station, you're rolling out your dough, the cookies, the whatever, right? Okay. So I'm going to take my netted dishcloth, and again, disclosure, I would typically use this dry, not wet. Now, the other thing I'm going to tell you is I use sandwich set bags or bread sacks and things like that as my trash bags, and have not bought, quote, real trash bags for quite a while. So I'm pulling this out of my trash bin area and bringing it up here for a little bit easier use. Oop, I'm losing control of myself here. There we go. I need to tighten something up. I think it's the weight of the phone. There we go. Okay, we're resituated now. All right. I never claim my videos to be like top-notch professional. That's not the point of my videos. My videos are about real life. Okay, so I folded this up because that is what's going to help trap these. Actually, maybe what would be best if I did use a dry one. Let me just grab this white one. Because wet, it's going to stick to it easier. And my point is to show you that it doesn't have to be wet. So I'm going to take my board, and I'm going to, there's stuff here in the corner. I'm going to go up and down, just like thinking if you're mopping the floor. We talk about doing that S or the crazy 8. So I'm doing the same movement, and I'm picking all of this up. Looks like my board was wet because it's sticking right here. I'm just going to rub on it. Okay. There's some crumbs left behind. So you see that this is cleared. This is because it was wet. There's something sticky there, and I did rub on here, but it needs probably a little bit of water, not just a dry cloth. Okay, now I'm going to take this. I'm going to hopefully show you dumping this into here. I don't know if you could hear. Falling out. And I will tell you, I can see some of the flour stuck to my cloth, and that's fine because when I put it in the water, right, it's going to wash out. The thing I'm going to show you is I'm going to rub this over the top. Okay, you see how it's still falling out? If I was doing this a little bit differently, I would rub this together over the top of my trash bag to get it to fall out. So that's what came out still. I wasn't able to get dumped out into the trash by just gently shaking. So that is why we talk about rubbing the cloth against itself to release anything, whether it's the Enviro cloth or the netted dishcloth or any of those. The counter cloths, we talk about doing that. So I'm going to go over this again. See, it just picked it back up. So you think, oh, it has all those holes in there, things are going to get through it. That's not really how that works. So what those holes do is it traps what you're cleaning up inside the cloth. Okay, I'm trying to watch what I'm doing, look at the camera, and speak to you at the same time, so it's not always fluid conversation. All right, so I'm going to rub this against itself again to see. See, by rubbing it in over the bag, there's still a little bit left in here, and that just shows you how much these hold. So again, cleaning this off enough that when I take it to the sink, there's no reason to have this going down the drain, flour and sticky stuff. So makes it for a quick cleanup, and then a person could keep going and wash the cutting board. The cutting board, by the way, is made of rice husks, so it's not petroleum. So when you're cutting this and you're getting those grooves, you're not picking up microplastics and putting it in your food. Now, in another video, when talking about this as being new, a person said, her name was Jennifer, the egg. And so I'm going to grab an egg real quick while you're looking at my cutting board. So, I don't know about you. Try to put my face in here. I don't know about you. I have the dropsies periodically, and, you know, things fall to the floor, wherever. So I'm going to just kind of, I guess I could just crack it. But anyway, we're going to clean an egg with the netted dishcloth. Okay. So I'm just going to, right? Only when it hits the floor, it busts open, and you have your egg mess everywhere on the floor, right? Now, I don't grab my EnviroCloth for the first stage because I don't want this to get into the tiny microfibers of here. Not at first. I want to be able to pick this up and put it into my trash can. And you may say, well, just take that over to the sink. Yeah, because it's on my cutting board. But imagine this being the floor. If this happened on my cutting board, I would carefully carry this over to my sink and put it in. We're just imagining this being the floor, okay? Which, instead of getting on the floor and showing you, I'm just pretending this is the floor. So I have to get this up off the floor. So I have my cloth just folded over, and actually I'm going to use my, not because it's bigger, but I'm going to use my this one. See, I'm not using it bigger. I'm just using it because it's wet. So I'm going to put this on top. I'm going to press down, and can you see the egg is getting soaked up inside? So I'm pressing down. I'm going to, I'm going the wrong way. Let me do it this way. I'm going to bring it together. And I'm going to press down. And I'm going to bring it together. You see? The egg is in here. Now I can take this. I'm grabbing my EnviroCloth because I don't want to get egg on my, and I'm going to walk over here to my sink. And like I said, I was already doing some dishes. Now I can swish this around in my water. And look, it even picked up eggshell and stuff that you may not. Oh, actually, this is food out of my sink. Excuse me. I thought this was some eggshell that I didn't know was on there. It's cottage cheese. So if it looked like cottage cheese, it is cottage cheese. So anyway, I'm going to swish this around, wring it out, rinse it out. Okay? So first, that is why the netted dishcloth is a treasure. Now I'm going to get my EnviroCloth wet. I'm squeezing the water in while I'm squeezing the air out, because with these microfibers being 1/200th of a strand of hair, they're very tiny. Now we're going to walk back over to the cutting board. And yes, I could just put this in the dish soap. I am just showing you wiping it up, because if this was the floor, I cannot put the floor in the dish. I can't put it in the sink. So remember, this is the floor. We're pretending this is the floor. So now I've cleaned my floor, and if I need to feel like I want more, I just flip this over, and then I have another clean area, and I can feel confident that those tiny microfibers picked up everything off of my cutting board that we're pretending is the floor, and voila, it's all clean. So, very cool product is the netted dishcloth. And thank you for joining me on this video. If you need to contact me in person, to contact me, you can go to my website, which is www.norwex.com/Kathy, Kathy, Elliott, Elliott, all together. You can also just text me at 515-717-3284. And you can actually just text me keywords, something like YouTube, netted dishcloth. There's just other things. You want to see the host plan, text me host. You want to see specials, text me special. And you will see current specials. Also going to the website, you're going to see the current specials that Norwex has going on. And I fully support those and encourage you to look into what Norwex has on special and what great deals they have for our hosts, because they are who helps us make our business grow. Anyway, thank you for joining me here and learning about the netted dishcloth. Have a blessed day.